What's up, everybody? Danimal Daniel Jobber here, and I'm here to do my first in a long time, anyways, preview of a big WWE pay-per-view. I'm actually going to do a double live stream with this one. I'm going to have it on my Facebook through my phone, and of course on my Twitch channel, DadPlayer03, on Twitch. So yeah, so you'll be able to join me in either or. If you want to ask me questions or have me know that you're here, best go to my Facebook channel under Daniel Gagne and join me there. Hey, Natasha. And if you want to ask questions, that's the best way to do it, because then I'll actually see. I don't have a way to see my my Twitch chat room at this moment. So, but anyways, we're here to talk about Sunday's No Mercy. I had originally hoped to do this collaboration with a friend in another place, but he has a big weekend planned. I believe he's got a trip to Las Vegas or something. It should be awfully exciting. So I'm gonna wing it alone, try to make it exciting, entertaining. It's gonna be one heck of a card on Sunday, and there's some people that think it's lackluster. Me, I'm really looking forward to the event. And of course, the SmackDown brand has, in my books, been winning the last little bit. So yeah, no reason not to look forward to this one. So first off, of course, there's about 8 main announced matches. Although, of course, there's also the preview show, and they haven't really announced anything specific for the preview show yet. So really, they're probably going to have at least one of the matches on the preview show, but there could be some surprises. So a couple of surprises we could have, or unannounced matches could be. Well, Apollo Crews doesn't appear to have an opponent for the event yet, so he could take on someone like he took on Tyler Breeze on main event. Any of you who have followed some of my work recently, I like to do a blog called Jobbing Out with Danimal Daniel Jobber, the undercard report, because I'm into the undercard. And of course he had a good match against Tyler Breeze, because Fandango, they claimed, was out of town in Maine, doing some research for their fashion clothing lines. It was a good match. That match could be rehashed, or maybe he'd go against Fandango this time, or and of course both of them could be present. It could be Breezango together, and he could take Apollo Crews take on one of them. We could have Breezango taking on the Ascension, although that's less likely, being 2 tag teams, but the Ascension isn't doing anything, so why not? Or we could, even though there's two other women's matches already, they could certainly do Natasha versus Naomi, because, Natalia. Sorry, Natasha, didn't mean to. Natalia versus Naomi, because of course Natalia's on a really good heel run, and Naomi, is still playing the baby face, so that would be a match they could do as well. And of course, they might do none of them. They might just have the preview match being Kurt Hawking's debut, return, which they have announced. He hasn't been in WWE for a while. He's making his big return at No Mercy, and that could certainly be the match that they put on the preview show, and maybe the only match. And it doesn't matter who he's against. It could be Apollo Crews, it could be anybody. But pretty much, if he's making his big return on No Mercy, you got to expect that he's probably going to pick up the victory there. So there's not much of a prediction for that match. So either way, that one of those matches or 2 of those matches should be on the preview show. I suppose also they could certainly have the Baron Corbin Jack Swagger match. That was kind of a surprise announced at the end. This match actually really intrigues me, and it's one of the ones I want to talk about a little more than some. A lot of the people that I saw making comments were rather confused and perturbed at Jack Swagger getting the victory the way he did, with the ref really screwing up, as it was pretty clear watching it that Baron Corbin was reaching towards the ropes, not tapping out, but the ref said he tapped out, and basically said he had quit the match. And of course, Baron Corbin's all upset and freaking out over it, and who can blame it? And me, I was very happy about that, because I think that it's hard to get a feud between 2 guys that Baron Corbin has an advantage in to begin with, and he certainly needs a huge victory and a dominating performance to get over, because the fans still aren't really sold on his heel presence, and I'm a big fan of Baron Corbin. I think he's a great heel to watch. So I was glad to see that the way that went down, because it gave them a reason to feud. Had Baron Corbin just won easy over Jack Swagger, as probably should have happened, what would be the point of the meeting again at No Mercy? So yeah, Jack Swagger picking up the cheap victory, set up a feud, and it's probably going to be a short feud. I mean, really, logic says Baron Corbin should get a huge victory over Jack Swagger. Maybe Jack Swagger with some good moments, but really he should pretty much beat him up. Um, of course, they could certainly drag it on a little longer. I mean, if I was running the company, I might consider trying to make as much money out of a feud as I could. And Jack Swagger really doesn't have a lot of roles right now in the company, so they could have Jack Swagger get another cheap victory again, and have Baron Corbin just absolutely freak out and get obsessed with beating Jack Swagger, and they could try to drag it on for a while, but I'm not sure. It's probably going to be at least a month or more till the next SmackDown pay-per-view. I'm not really sure if that feud could really carry on that long, or if I'd be looking forward to see it. So it could end up with Jack Swagger getting the cheap victory, or it could end up Baron Corbin just winning outright. But and this is the key. Watching main event this weekend, they had a really good match between Baron Corbin and Kane, and that was actually pretty much a no-brainer. Kane is hey Killian. Kane is a really not doing a lot either right now, and he's still over as a babyface. The fans love to see him. He brings that fiery presence to the to the matches he's in. As him and Baron Corbin had a pretty good match. They're both big guys. They matched up well, and in the end, Baron Corbin actually ended up whacking him in the knee with a chair and getting himself disqualified. So really, that match isn't over. They didn't really end that there. They kind of set up a little bit of suspense. So my prediction is that no matter what happens between Baron Corbin and Jack Swagger, I expect Kane to come out and get involved, either at the end of the match, maybe costing Baron Corbin the win and giving Jack Swagger another cheap victory, or after Baron Corbin beats Jack Swagger, Kane coming out and challenging Baron Corbin, and I think that would be a much better feud for the next month to involve Baron Corbin. I mean, this is a Halloween time. This is Kane's time. And of course, I don't know if we can't really be involved in the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view because that's the Raw brand. But certainly they could carry on that feud through that into the next SmackDown pay-per-view, and as it gets close to Christmas, that would be one heck of a match. The next pay-per-view, having Kane and Baron Corbin in some form of grudge match, it could be no disqualification. And of course, the more Kane gets involved and gets up in Baron Corbin's grill, I could really see Baron Corbin getting more and more obsessed and emotional about beating his demon, So that story really intrigues me. So I'd really like to see that feud result from the Baron Corbin Jack Swagger match, regardless of who wins. But either way, I could certainly see Jack Swagger getting a cheap victory in that one too, and maybe that feud be like a minor feud for Baron Corbin, on Raw, or sorry, on SmackDown Live, or on main event for the next few weeks as well. So it's a win-win situation there if they get Kane involved somehow. And of course, as I mentioned, for Hawkins expecting to win his return match. Now we get into the matches that should be the meat and potatoes of the card. First of all, they have Nikki Bella, on her big babyface pop, still coming back after her injury, taking on Carmella, who's been a thorn in her side, and these two have been going at it hard. That should be an excellent match. I'm looking forward to seeing. And I'm a fan of Nikki Bella. I was always a fan of her during her big championship run there. Even though that's not the direction they want to go with her right now, that's going to be one heck of a grudge match. I really hope they give them time to perform, because I think that's going to be excellent. And I'm debating who's going to win that one. Seeing both babyface women winning in this card seems a little, I don't know, like it would be overkill, but I don't know. And I know Carmella could certainly use a victory, but I got a feeling, my gut's telling me they're going to go with the fans and give the fans an early happy moment, and have Nikki Bella, who's still really coming off her return to action pop, giving her the victory in that. That's what I expect to see, anyways. So I'm going with Nikki Bella on that one. I don't. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if Carmella won, or if there was a lot of wonky stuff went down and the match ended in a disqualification finish or something, and keep that feud heated and going, because really, there's no reason Nikki Bella and Carmella should have to end there. I mean, with Becky Lynch having many other opponents she could face for the championship, and really, I don't see any reason for Nikki to be working towards a match with Becky Lynch at this point, anyways. So, anyways, I'm going to go with Nikki Bella there. And then the match that I think a lot of people are going to be really interested in, and I know I am, because they've really built it with a little bit of wonky stuff, but at the same time some really intriguing performances. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, two men with demons and voices and all kinds of mysterious supernatural stuff going on. Now Bray Wyatt's pretty much all alone because we just heard recently that Eric Rowan is out of action for 4 to 6 months with a big injury, and of course Luke Harper is expected to join the Raw brand. So really, and of course Braun Strowman's already there. So really, Bray Wyatt's on his own. So this is going to be a match between two really mysterious and competitors. And I mean, I know my heart says I'd love to see Bray Wyatt come out with a victory. And maybe through some wonky stuff, going with the Halloween season stuff, they could have Bray Wyatt pull off some kind of victory leading into more more feuding with them, and maybe a big Randy Orton victory at the next pay-per-view. But I don't know. My gut tells me that they're probably going to go with one of their top baby faces, maybe the top baby face in the brand or SmackDown brand. I have a feeling Randy Orton somehow is going to pull off the victory, probably with an RKO. And as usual, Bray Wyatt get the burying that they tend to like to always do with him. So my prediction is Randy Orton. Although my heart would love to see some way to give Bray Wyatt a mysterious and frustrating win that just gets Randy Orton all the more obsessed with taking out Bray Wyatt, going forward and that feud continuing. But yeah, I can't see Randy Orton losing. Really, if I was running the company, I would want that feud to go on longer. I would want a little more out of this feud. I would probably have Bray Wyatt come up with the victory. But I have a feeling they're going to start grooming Randy Orton for a bigger match ahead. So, yeah, Randy Orton. And then, of course, the career versus title match. And this one, they did a really good job, because I don't know if anybody really should be able to say comfortably that they know what's going to happen in this match. I mean, most retirement matches are just gimmicks, just a way to have the person that's going to win, with the fans behind them and all worried, their career's on the line, and this could really be the end, and then they have them come up with a big victory and everyone's all happy, and it's likely a good possibility that'll happen here. But there's so much talk about what Dolph Ziggler could do in his spare time. And in fact, he might take an office job, or he might go on to do his other interests like comedy and that sort of thing. So they've really done a great job of creating that uncertainty. And even on Talking Smack, when they had Dolph Ziggler there, they had him talking about his other things he was going to do, and they had Daniel Bryan saying how concerned he was that Dolph Ziggler had these other interests. That he should be focusing on this match and his career continuing, and that this other stuff might actually take away from his hunger and his need to win this match. And then Dolph Ziggler kind of shrugged it off, saying, "This is what I want to do. This is all I want to do. This other stuff is great. It's great on the side, but I want to be a wrestler. I want to perform. I'm just saying that if I can't get it done here, that's it. I don't belong here anymore." So I think they're just creating a lot of uncertainty to make the match more interesting. My gut still tells me that Dolph Ziggler is going to continue, whether he takes a break, comes back, whatever. I still expect to see Dolph Ziggler win this match, become the new Intercontinental Champion, because he said he has to actually walk out with the title, if I'm not mistaken, or he will retire. So I really think they're going to go with Dolph Ziggler as champion. I don't know if they'll keep it long. I mean, I certainly like the way The Miz and Maurice are on their heel run and keeping him as Intercontinental Champion. And really, if it was any other circumstances besides Dolph Ziggler's retirement, I would say no doubt about it, The Miz should keep winning. But it looks, my gut's telling me that they're not going to let Dolph retire here. So I'm going to go with Dolph Ziggler winning the title. Maybe The Miz will win it back. That's all I can think there, because I don't really see anybody else in the picture currently for that title. Personally, I think that should be Bray Wyatt on the way to win that title. I think by now Bray Wyatt deserves to have some title in WWE, but it doesn't look like that's the way they're going anytime soon. They always seem to keep Bray Wyatt out of the title picture, and I know there's many fans like me that are very disappointed about that. So anyways, Dolph Ziggler. And then in the SmackDown Tag Team title match, we have the Usos against Rhino and Heath Slater. I can't say enough about how great that story was with having Rhino and Heath Slater win the Tag Team title. I mean, it brought tears of happiness to my eyes. I really enjoyed the way they told the story of Heath Slater getting his contract and finding his partner and having to win the title, and the uncertainty of how they were going to get by American Alpha, and then American Alpha gets injured. Everything was just perfect, and the stars were totally aligned for the Usos to be their main opponent, and Rhino and Heath Slater to win the title. But I think that story is done. I think it's wearing itself thin. I don't know if there's enough hype behind Heath Slater and Rhino to keep being tag team champions. I mean, they could drag it on a little longer, maybe another month, but really, they're really doing a good job with the Usos. The Usos have been champions as babyface in the past, but they've never been on a heel run like they are right now. They're hot. They look like they're ready to get more involved in tag team division. I really think it's time, and I expect the Usos are going to win the tag team titles away from Rhino and Heath Slater. And really, I think it's leading into a big match with American Alpha, where American Alpha will win the titles. Now, if they were to delay this and have Rhino and Heath Slater win one more month, hang on the title for one more month, I can only see that being for one reason, and that would be to delay the Usos getting the title, to not have them hold the title that long, and maybe have them meet American Alpha in not till WrestleMania, because that would be certainly not a bad way if they could somehow keep that story going. Have WrestleMania be the coronation of American Alpha as the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. But really, I don't know if I want to see that story drag on that many months. I think it's probably time for just American Alpha to take the title, have their run, and then WrestleMania. Who knows what they're going to do with the tag team titles, but I think that story should happen sooner. So my prediction is the Usos with a heel victory. They'll probably win, I expect, with some form of shenanigans, but I expect them to take the title from Rhino and Heath Slater, leading into a feud with American Alpha, who are just about back and healthy. Jordan's partner that's injured. But anyways, so they'll be back in action soon. I expect that to be the next feud for the Usos. Women's title match. Alexa Bliss taking on Becky Lynch. Should be a good match. I expect these two girls to go hard. Becky Lynch, great decision. I mean, she's been one of the highlights of the SmackDown brand. And the brand split and the SmackDown brand alone, her being champion. I don't think that she would be anything more than a mid-carder, a solid mid-carder in mid to upper card, basically, in Raw, if it was a single brand. And I don't know if she'd ever have held the women's title. There were so many women above her that probably deserve to hold the title more, and the ones that are, of course, they're currently feuding in the Raw brand. But her on SmackDown, perfect. I'm so glad they didn't decide to shy away from that. There's a lot of speculation they might put the title on Nikki Bella again due to her star power. But they decided to go with probably the true SmackDown fan favorite, Becky Lynch, and having her as champion. And there's no reason to take the title off right now. So I'll expect a great match. I really don't think there's any chance Alexa Bliss is going to beat her. I think this is just her first title defense. And someone had to do it, and Alexa Bliss is the one that they decided to have step up. It's a great opportunity for her. She's new from NXT, coming in just recently making her debut on the main roster. It's going to be a great opportunity for her to showcase herself. It'll be a great showcase for up-and-coming NXT talent, which is another huge benefit of the brand split. But I expect Becky Lynch to retain the title with a convincing victory ultimately in the end. There's just no reason to take the title off her. No reason whatsoever. I mean, not that Alexa Bliss wouldn't be a good heel champion at some point. I just don't think there's any reason for that to be now. So, yeah, definitely Becky Lynch. And then finally, what a dandy of a main event we're going to have. Triple threat with John Cena, Dean Ambrose, and AJ Styles. Perhaps three of the most talented and energetic, and for different reasons, different fan bases, three of the most popular guys in the entire WWE. AJ, of course, popular in the heel role, even though he is the heel and does do a decent job making fans hate him. There's still a lot of fans that love to hate him and love him because of the fact that he's AJ Styles, and he's the guy that they've wanted to see in WWE for years, and here he is wearing the WWE title, and of course all three of these men are amazing on the mic. In fact, on the Go Home show, they had huge promos from Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles, and then all of a sudden John Cena comes out, and I'm thinking, now we're going to get him with his amazing mic skills. It's just going to be a huge three-way microphone fest. But AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose were so good on the mic, John Cena barely had to say a single word in that promo. He just basically beat up the two of them, and they started a great brawl, ending the show. And actually looked for a while like Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles might get the upper hand, but then, of course, it ended with John Cena on top at the end. Hinting, of course, that he's going to get his 16th title, which is supposed to tie Ric Flair's record, which a lot of the hype around this match is. Because really, I don't think many people expect Dean Ambrose to regain the title that he lost. I think he had his run, and it was a good run, but I don't think that's meant to happen again or go on any longer. So it's really between AJ Styles and John Cena. And John Cena is about to go away. I know there's a lot of, they want to hint and they want to keep people intrigued, whether John Cena's going to win the 16th title. I don't think it's here. I think it's going to be a phenomenal match between three great performers, and I think it's going to be on the edge of our seats the whole match. But when it all comes down, I expect to see AJ Styles coming up with a solid victory again, retaining the title. I don't see any reason to take the title off AJ Styles till WrestleMania. If they could find some way to not need John Cena in another match, I would love to see John Cena finally win his 16th title at WrestleMania. But I don't think this is the time, especially with John Cena going away to film other projects. I think he's just there to get people hyped and maybe build towards a WrestleMania main event. So yeah, as great as this match is going to be, I don't think the outcome is really in question. I think AJ Styles easily comes out on top between these three men. But damn, is that going to be a great match. That is just going to be a phenomenal... really pins and needles with this match. It's going to be a heck of a main event. But his entire card looks pretty solid beginning to end. I can't see any reason why you wouldn't want to be paying for the network right now. $9.99 throughout the U.S. per month, and in Canada, $11.99. If you're not paying for the WWE network, you're really missing out. I mean, it truly is the best way to be a wrestling fan. So much great content in every single pay-per-view. And, of course, with the double pay-per-view between the Raw and the SmackDown brands, there's just no better way to be a fan right now. So, yeah, people who have the network get it. People who don't should get it. Really, the network is where it's at when it comes to WWE right now. So they're doing a great job. The network's probably the best thing to happen to wrestling, well, since Hulk Hogan, since Stone Cold Steve Austin. Vince McMahon definitely has a winner on his hands and gave a great gift to the fans at the same time. Basically, seals the future of his company because the WWE Network brings in constant money from everybody all the time. So anyways, yeah, the network's great. Love it. Gives you a chance to not have to miss this great show on Sunday. If you don't have it yet, then if you don't have it yet, you should definitely do it. But anyways, great show from beginning to end. Just to recap my picks, I have Kurt Hawkins winning his return match. I expect Baron Corbin to either beat Jack Swagger or lose on a shenanigan due to Kane coming in and challenging him to a new feud. I really think that needs to happen. I have Nikki Bella getting the babyface victory over Carmella. Randy Orton with the win over Bray Wyatt. Dolph Ziggler winning the Intercontinental title against The Miz to keep his career alive. Usos winning the title from Rhino and Heath Slater with a heel victory. Some form of a victory that make the fans of Rhino and Heath Slater who hate cheating upset. And I have Becky Lynch easily retaining the title against Alexa Bliss in a pretty good match. And AJ Styles retaining the title in the triple threat main event. Yeah. Can't say enough. The show is going to be great. Hope you're watching on Sunday. I know I will be. And hopefully we'll be talking about a solid, great show next week sometime. Anyways, going to wrap it up with that. As always, I'm Danimal Daniel Jobber. You can follow me at Daniel Jobber on Twitter. I have 3 Facebook channels under Daniel Gagne. Of course, you can email me badplayer03@gmail.com. If you have questions, comments, anything you'd like to see, looking forward to doing more of this now, getting my Twitch channel going, and hopefully maybe doing a few collaborative casts in the near future. Yeah, it looks like an exciting future with WWE with this new brand split, which seems to be in full force. So I'm excited about the future, and I hope you are too. This is Danimal Daniel Jobber, bidding you good night